welcome to this week's edition of Red Army TV. I'm Matt Bland, stepping in for Dave Roberts, so don't worry, he hasn't had some sort of midlife crisis and gained 40 pounds. Man City and Middlesbrough at the weekend. On the couch, joining us today, we've got Dave Roberts, first timer.
Yeah, it is a bit spooky, isn't it? I wasn't supposed to be here officially. That's why you're there.
Yeah, because you were away on certain duties, weren't you?
Yeah, and then got called back, obviously, as an emergency. So I'm here as a sub on the bench.
Brilliant. And also joining Dave is Lauri Cox.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome back as well.
Thank you.
Returning participant in the show.
Thank you for having me.
No problem whatsoever. Right, plenty to talk about in the show this week. We've also got the Man City review. We've also got your social media comments as well. But let's see what the managers had to say in the post-match interviews.
I think the performance today just showed the determination and the fighting spirit of the squad and the group of players that we've been working with for the last few weeks, and that was evident against one of the top teams in the country. Yeah, from where I was, I didn't think it was a penalty. I thought the player went down very, very easily. And looking at the referee's position, was he in the correct position to give it? And from where I was, or certainly the video that I've seen, they looked like he didn't have a clear view. And I think when you give them, you've got to be 100% certain.
Better don't review about the penalties, what happened in that season, my friends. Maybe don't talk about that. If I didn't complain about the penalties, what happened in that season, and I could make a long list, I'm not talking about today about the referees, please. So Sané told me it's penalty, and when Sané said in Southampton it was not penalty, like it was penalty. So we are so far fair in our judgments.
They have it, managers' responses there after the match on Sunday. So then, Man City, cracking game, but shouldn't we have seen this from the Borough earlier on in the season?
I'd love to have seen it from the Borough earlier on in the season. Let's give Steve Agnew some credit, because he's been taking a bit of stick, hasn't he? I think that was the best performance I've seen from a Borough team this season. So pat on the back for that. And but for our friends, the referee, maybe we should have got 3 points on him.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the game had everything that we've wanted all season between us. We were attacking and we were defending. We were doing both well. And like Dave says, I think maybe if the penalty wasn't given or the free kick for the second goal, then you never know. But I was still quite enthused by the performance, to be honest. I thought it was quite a good performance. It's one of the first times I've actually thought, oh, I enjoyed that. Mm. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the penalty decision. Should it have really been a penalty?
Shocking in my eyes. I couldn't believe it. I am a ref. Yeah. And I got up to my feet straight away in the West End Upper, of course, where we all eat prawn sandwiches and jangle our jewellery. And I just started cursing and abusing him and shouting from quite some distance, but I wasn't the only one, was I? No, it was never a penalty.
No. I mean, obviously, yeah, you're shaking your head there. Daroon didn't look like he had all his body weight at all for him to go down as hard as he did.
No, I've looked at it from a million different angles as well, and I've been trying to look at it and think, oh, how's he giving it? But I still haven't worked that out.
He was in the wrong position, the referee, to see it clearly, and you don't expect that at the Premier League at this level. It's the highest, one of the highest leagues performance-wise in the world, so you would expect your referees to be up there for that occasion. And he wasn't in the right angle. He wasn't at the right angle to see it.
So, talking of Kevin Brindley, was he really that bad in the match?
Yes.
Do you think he threw too many cards out there, or were there some fair decisions?
No, I think some of them were fair. It's unfair to say that he had a complete shocker of a game, because he didn't. I do feel for referees sometimes to an extent, because they're so exposed, and we've got the benefit of video replays, and we've got the benefit of a million different angles. They have a split-second decision like that, so it's not an easy job in the slightest. But, like Dave was saying, you need to be in the right places. Mm-hmm. You need to trust your judgment. You've trained for however long you've trained to be able to make those decisions and to be able to be under pressure. So it wasn't, I don't think he completely lost the game, which you've seen in the past with other games, and referees completely lose it and the game just descends into chaos. And I don't think it did. So I think it was just a couple of decisions that have riled the fans either way. So
tell you what gets me. It was a wrong decision. Mm-hmm. Sané, tremendous little dive, just threw himself into Daroon's leg to go down. So the referee bought it and the referee gave a penalty. So straight away, we can't say we lost points because of it, because we don't know how the rest of the game would have materialised from that point on if they hadn't had the penalty. But the Borough players were so annoyed and so angry, they ran to the referee to have a go. And we've now been charged with failing to control our players. We are going to get a fine, and it's all because of that referee's decision. But he did have a half-decent game in refereeing terms, apart from that key match decision, which is what the guys get paid the big bucks for, to make those decisions in the big league, and he failed to do it.
Fair enough. Right, Mark went out and about with his camera after the match. Let's catch up with your fan rants.
I thought I played really well. I'd like to have seen him make a change when we were a goal up though. I thought we were inviting a bit of pressure. Just a shame we haven't played that all season, to be honest. Yeah. But a bit of heart, bit of guts. He's going down fighting.
Disappointed. But not, we shouldn't have got beaten. It should be a 2-1. That referee in the penalty, I don't understand why he didn't give that. If I'm totally honest with you. I think he looked up at the Man City fans. As soon as he saw them kicking off, he gave the penalty. And some of the players reacted that way because you can't blame them, can you? Because they're not passionate. I think it's still a glamorous staying up, I think. Tiny little glimmer. Well, we'll see how it goes there.
I thought it was a brilliant game. I think they outplayed us possession-wise, much neater football, but determination outshone them. We were robbed there, we should have had 3 points. So there's still hope. So let's see what happens, eh?
Exactly, mate, yeah.
Well, I think it was about the most exciting game I've been for a long time. Great passion, you know, great input from the players. Loved every minute of it, you know, and really we deserved 3 points. I can't blame him. Well, that's how it goes. There's still 3 games to go, so I'm very hopeful the fight's still on.
Yeah. Some interesting comments there. Thanks for that, Mark. We're discussing earlier on about the penalty decision. Do you think it's time now for football to have video referees?
Go on, let you start with that one.
Yes, I think it is, but I think it needs to be policed properly. It's like in cricket or tennis where you get 3. Because you can't go on for a whole game. You'll never finish a game of football if every single decision is scrutinised. And I think it only needs to be for penalties, goals and cards, not a free kick in the middle of the park that's a bit dubious or something like that. Or even elbows, you know, violent conduct. But I think it definitely needs to be policed properly.
How about Sane diving at Daroon's feet?
Well, it's a penalty, isn't it? So there you go.
What about yourself, Dave? Do you think it was out refereeing?
I've been asked the question many times, and I've always been in favour of only on goal situations. As the ball crossed the line, is it a goal or isn't it a goal? And I argued for a long time before goal line technology came in that we should have camera angles, 5th official up, having a look, who can instantly communicate into the referee's ear to say goal or not. Now, we've got that with goal line technology, but not by that route. For the rest of it, I would have said no, but after what happened against City and the Daroon situation, I'm now sold on it. We should have it. We should have somebody who's there and say, you've dropped a goalie. That's not a penalty.
So what other decisions do you think video refereeing should be used on?
Like Lauri says, you've got to be careful. You can't have every single decision scrutinised. But, you know, if you're going to do it for challenges, for penalty kicks inside the area, are you going to do it for tight offside calls? Was he offside? Was he not offside? Whatever it is, it's got to be instant. It's got to be somebody sitting there, not looking at 5 different camera angles and 27 replays. It's got to be somebody who can hit the button straight away and said, he is offside, blow your whistle.
What else do you think can be done then other than video refereeing?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think that is like, it's not the last resort, so to speak, but it's like that's the only thing that I can think of that will help in these situations, because it's not just Middlesbrough it happens to. It happens game in, game out, every weekend, at every league, and I just think that maybe that is the way forward. As I say, policed properly though, like don't take advantage of it. You
wouldn't want the game sanitised completely, would you? With every
no, not really.
Every 5 minutes, somebody stopping, having a look. Because I've got the cricket
as well, and like when I'm at the cricket and they do a review, and you sit there for at least a minute and you're watching the screen, like is it, isn't it, is it, isn't it? If you do that all game, you're going to go at 3 o'clock. You'll be lucky to win by 10.
Do you think post-match analysts of referees is fair?
I think it is, but I've always been in favour of referees giving interviews. I'd love them to come out afterwards and say like, whether they did it right, whether they did it wrong, or what they thought, or what their reasoning was, because I think they might gain a lot more respect there. Because as I said earlier, it is a very difficult job, and they are under so much pressure. They're so open, aren't they, on the field? And if they just came out afterwards and said, this is the reason why I did it, maybe people would think, oh, okay, he said. So
we'll talk more about that in part 2. Coming up in part 2, we've also got Heidi's news, and also we've got your social media comments as well. You've been ranting about the Borough and the match from Sundays. Also, we'll catch up with those. Join us after the break. Okay, thanks for your social media, and we've been getting a lot of social media comments in from former and current Borough players. Starting off with Bernie Slavin, he said, Borough 2, Man City 2. Attitude, commitment and effort of Borough was terrific. If only we'd shown those qualities against lesser teams. Patrick Bamford, gutted for the lads today, gave it their all, big push for the final 3 games. And Martin Daroon, we don't stop when we're tired. We stop when we are done. Let's go. And finally, Callum Chambers has said, pleased to have scored my first Borough goal, but gutted not to take home the 3 points. The fans couldn't have been louder out there today. If you want to get your social media comments featured on the show, then send them to us at Borough Red Army. And if you want to be a guest on our couch and future shows as well, email us studio@redarmy.tv and tell us why you should be here. Welcome back, part 2, Red Army TV, and if you just joined us, don't worry, Dave's still on the couch with us. We're just swapping roles this week. We've got plenty more to come, including your social media, and also we'll be discussing MFC's decision to revamp the website. But before all that, let's catch up with Heidi with the latest news.
MFC is set to undergo a digital transformation this summer with the launch of a new look website and video platform. Fans will see a completely new design which will be available across all devices. There will also be a new matchday service that will include audio commentary, a live blog, live photos and added video features. The launch will see the end of the current subscription service, with all the video access no longer requiring a premium payment. Ex-Borough boss Aitor Karanka has been linked with a shock move to Sunderland. According to a Spanish daily newspaper, the former Real Madrid man is keeping a close eye on development at Sunderland, with the future of David Moyes being uncertain. The Black Cats were relegated to the Championship last weekend. Borough has announced that superfan and gamer Jack Boddy will proudly be representing the club in the Emirates FA Cup gaming competition. The 21-year-old will be competing for glory and the chance to lift the trophy at Wembley Stadium. Jack will take on 60 other video gamers, each representing football clubs across the country. The tournament will be played on FIFA 17 on PlayStation 4 consoles. The event will take place at Wembley on the 7th of June. And if you have any Borough news you want to share with us, please get in touch. Email studio@redarmy.tv or via social media at Borough Red Army. And back to you, Matt, in the studio.
Thanks for that, Heidi. Right, still got Dave and Lauri on the couch with me. Middlesbrough Football Club have announced they're going to revamp the website. It's the first time in 3 seasons that they've done this. What are your views on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything, isn't it? It's always good to have a refresh and something new, though the Gazette did it, and I still can't get used to the Gazette website. I can't do searches anymore, so hopefully it's going to be more user-friendly than the Gazette's turned out to be. But yeah, look, we're a modern-day era, and things are progressing, and websites have to progress. You write for it, don't you? Don't you put stuff on, or?
Yeah, now and again. Mainly the under-23s, if I do that, so yeah.
Well, they've announced that they're going to close Borough Plus channel down, and it's no longer going to be any subscription content. Do you think it's about time that they did that, or do you think they should have done this a while ago?
Look, you can get video content from all over the internet now, can't you? So I think trying to hold that exclusivity and put a premium cost on it is something that won't work. I think what the benefit the club might see is if they do make it freely available, a lot more people will view it. Therefore, there's much more opportunity to capture people's data. So, you know, that's what's valuable these days. It's not the content you put on a website, it's actually having access to people. So I think they'll benefit from that.
I think it was originally a good move then to move when they used to have the channel on cable in the region. Did you think it was a good move at the time then to move the channel online?
I think so, because I think that's the way everything was going at the time. Like the boom of the internet, wasn't it? And everything was going online on the internet. And I think, yeah, it was the right thing to do.
What would you like to see on the new site? Anything that obviously they've not featured before?
www for win.
For win.
No L, no D. W.
You lost me there for a moment. I was thinking, have you just invented a new worldwide wicked web?
A fixture list and results list just full of W's.
Yeah.
But no, I'd like to see like photo gallery. I like photo galleries. I like being able to flick through, you know, after a match, and like, because you can get some quite iconic images at matches as well, can't you? Where they celebrate and they don't realise they're being captured or anything, and I love pictures like that.
Would you like to see more past news articles? And
I quite like nostalgia as well. There's a bit in the programme at the moment about the class of '86. It's like a series throughout the season, and I love all that as well, because I like reading back about things like that. Because that's when you think, like, we've been in worse positions than we're in now. It's not nice, but we've been in a lot worse.
Because we used to be dubbed the Yo-Yo Club at one point, because we were constantly down between leagues.
Well, we are at the moment. We got promoted last year. Going to get relegated this year. I know we can all hold out hope that we're going to turn Chelsea over, Liverpool over, and Hull's going to have a nightmare against Sunderland. But I don't think it's going to happen. But content on the website, I'd like it to be more user-friendly in terms of stats. Because there's been loads of times I've wanted to have a look at Borough from 3 seasons ago and how did they do against this team. And it's appalling trying to get hold of that sort of information. Whether I'm just an imbecile, probably is, and I'm not internet friendly, then that's probably the reason. But I'd like interactivity in that sort of area.
Excellent. Right, let's go to your social media. Quite a few of you had a good rant online, and we sent James Barker out to just say exactly what you were saying.
Thanks, Matt, and you join us here looking at your social media that you've been talking about since Sunday's match with Manchester City. David Tomlinson has said, "I'm upset that it's now taken 7 years to get back to the Premier League and we've not even tried. Like in 2009, we need to completely rebuild the squad." Everything MFC has said, "We were excellent today. The players left everything on that pitch, deserved more than just that 1 point." And Heaven star and Geordie Rat Pack member Neil Granger also tweeted, "Not the result we needed, but the performance we have been waiting for all season. Passion, hunger and fight. That's the Borough I love." Thanks, Neil, for that. And Eob Sewab said, "Imagine thinking you were going to win the Champions League, but have to cheat to draw against Borough. Hashtag MCFC." Lots of talking points there, and if there's anything that you want to talk about, you can contact us on our social media at Borough Red Army, or if you've got any fan rants or videos that you want to share with us, you can email them at studio@redarmy.tv.
Some very interesting remarks there from everyone online. Thanks very much for that, James. So, looking ahead to Monday's match against Chelsea, how do you think Borough are going to fare on them?
Who first?
3-0.
3-0 Borough?
Yeah.
It's going to be, I've seen 16-1 just for a Borough win.
Have a look at what 3-0 is. Blind optimism.
Blind optimism.
I left my rose-tinted glasses over there, though. So.
Do you think Agnew's moulded his ideal team now to maybe give us a chance against Chelsea?
I think if Saturday is anything to go by, I think that was a really good performance against a very good team. But I think Chelsea have a lot to play for now, don't they? With Tottenham winning at the weekend as well. So
what would have been really interesting is if we had hung on and got 3 points against City, because we still had some
and then
of
it would be
really
the 4.
I know we're not down. Well, we could be on Monday, but as we go into the game, we could still save our skins somehow. But had there have been something really there for us to fight for, that would have been interesting.
Do you think Agnew's made the right choice not starting Traore? A lot of fans were shouting for him to be starting the last couple of games. Do you think he's right not to start him?
I think to start him against City would have been a huge risk, huge gamble. And we were getting to the real pointy end of the season, weren't we, where if we lost against City at home, then you look at the league table and it's like, yeah, it's just about a nailed on certainty. So I think it would have been a huge risk to start him because you don't know which Traore you're going to get. However, saying that, I'd have liked to have seen him introduced earlier when we had the advantage of a goal lead, then put him on to give City something to think about, because we sat back very deep, very, very deep when we were defending the lead on 2 occasions. It would have been nice to have just given them something extra to think about.
So anything else we can get from the game on Monday?
No, just a 3.
Just a 3?
Just a 3. No, I think as long as it's a good performance, I think that's all everyone's cried out for ages, isn't it?
We're down. I've been saying we're down for months.
Yeah, you just want a good performance. Yeah, you're going to be entertained.
Go there, have a go.
I was going to say, we seem to do much better against the higher ranking teams than we do.
That's just what Borough do, isn't it? It's what we've done for years. I did say to someone before Man City, I said, "Oh, we won't lose this." I said, yeah, seriously? I said, "No, we won't." I said, "Because we don't do that. We don't lose against the big teams. Not often, anyway." So
it's possible then we could maybe pull off a draw. Would a draw be enough?
Hey, look, we got 2 draws against City in the league. Their place and at our place. But no, I think Chelsea have just got too much for us. I think they'll do us. I think we'll come back. If it's a 1-0 or a 2-0, I'll be happy as long as we've put up a half decent performance. The fear is it could be a lot more.
Yeah.
But I'll subscribe to whatever Lauri's been sniffing because I fancy a 3-0 Borough victory.
If I'm genuinely honest, I think we'll probably get beat, but I have to keep my 3-0. I have to keep it. It'll happen someday.
What a just. So obviously, we've got to rely on Sunderland as well with their match against Hull. Do you think it might go in our favour or not?
You see, that's the difficulty because if Hull do Sunderland, then we have to do Chelsea. Otherwise, if Hull get a better performance this weekend than we do, we're down. So I can just imagine Hull doing Sunderland, and we have to beat Chelsea to keep our Premier League chances alive, which would be enormous pressure for this team.
However, wouldn't it be funny if Sunderland actually beat Hull and did us a favour?
And we beat Chelsea.
Yeah, we beat Chelsea.
Game on.
Thank you, Sunderland. Thank you very much. But Hull don't lose at home, and Sunderland don't win. Full stop.
Okay, well, thanks so much for joining us on the show, Lauri. And Dave, you'll be back here in Hard Seat next week. That's it for this week here in Red Army. Join us again next Friday from 7. Catch you then.